Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire Service. We're talking Tunkhannock boys basketball. Spencer Lunger, the head coach, with us today. And Spencer, welcome into the show. It's a unique year. Everybody's preparing the best they possibly could. Different school districts have different rules. And of course, we're still all waiting on District 2, PIAA, the governor. And again, we think we have a set of circumstances here in the first week of January that we're ready to go, but things are changing by the minute. Nonetheless, in your mind, I'm sure like, okay, hey, this week's the week. This is what we're gonna do. So plan A, let's talk about what this first week in January is gonna look like.
Yeah, I'm just excited to have the boys back in the gym. It's been a long year, for them as students and as student athletes. It started at the beginning of last year, as we know, and we were fortunate enough before the break that the governor mandated to get 9 practices in. So it was nice to see the kids get them back to a little bit of normalcy. But these first couple of days of practice, we're just going to try to get in the gym, try to get a lot of conditioning in, and get the ball moving a little bit, get it in the hoop as much as we can, and try to get back to normal as much as possible. We've just been preaching to the kids to take one day at a time and give it to the best of their abilities, because we just don't know with this virus when things are going to get shut down. So I just try to explain to them to practice at their fullest, and if we get games in, play every game that it's your last, because things could change in a heartbeat. And but my kids have been great. My coaching staff's been great so far, and we have stuff in place to hopefully try to get in a season. That's our main goal.
Let's talk about the talent level at Tunkhannock this year. We know you got to have some bigs. I think there's a Chilson kid out there, but having some kids at the guard position who could shoot, penetrate, and do those type of things there for Tunkhannock.
Yeah, I'm excited. We have a good nucleus coming back from last year. Our 3 leading scorers, starting with Ryan Harder, my point guard. He had another little growth spurt. He's up to 6'4" now, getting recruited by some local D3s. And, I'm very excited. He's going to, be our leader for us. And then, Jack Chilson, quarterback of the football team, number 1 in his class, very smart kid. He's just a leader on and off the court. He did have a little concussion in football, so we're just waiting for him to get cleared. But, excited to have him back. And then we have his younger brother who also had a growth spurt. He's about 6'3", 6'4" now. And, we're really looking forward to him to take a step forward and, really, start to be that third or second leading scorer for us. And then, we have a couple of pieces that we're not sure who's going to get those last 2 starting spots, but, we have a bunch of guys competing for them, and, they're going at it every day, and, we're excited about it.
Sometimes you could be looked at like you guys are off the radar a little bit, but you guys compete with all these teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference night in and night out. But, boy, there's some good coaches you're going up against, and, it's nice to say, okay, hey, we got a challenge today. We know this coach is going to try this against us, and they have some good athletes, or they're going to, try to do this. So talk a little bit about just trying to make sure you can match up against some of these teams.
Yeah, it's an honor to go against those coaches such as Mark Atherton, Al Semenza. It's a brutal stretch night in and night out. We're bumping up to Division I where we were a couple of years ago to play the likes of Hazleton, Crestwood, Dallas, Pittston, Valley West. So we're excited about it. We know game in and game out, there's never a night out in the WVC. And, we know we have to bring our best effort, or, we're gonna struggle a little bit. So we try to maintain that in practice, to have a good energy level, and to make sure never to take opponents lightly. And it's going to be a challenge for us, but we're up for the challenge. Each year we continue to get better, and we ingrain that in our kids, and that's a testament to my former players and my coaches and my current players that we don't want to be taken lightly by anybody. We want to be a challenge for everybody, and, hopefully we'll get it done at the end of the night.
Some people may look on paper, okay, Tunkhannock, that's a little bit of a rural area. COVID isn't as big there, or you go to Hazleton, things are a little bit more significant, but nonetheless, we all have to do our best to follow the protocols and take it as seriously as we can. And we all have to put our personal opinions aside about it and just say, hey, in the end, we got to go do what we're supposed to do. And, I think like anything else, we've seen it on the national level, NFL or the NBA or NHL for that matter, on the college level, that, there's no room for selfishness. And again, there are situations where you may get it and you're not sure what happens with contact tracing, but you got to do your part. Talk about your message to your team about, hey, we all have a part to play in this.
Yeah, we just try to instill in them that, you got to make the right choices at this point. I know they're kids and, they're going to want to hang out and, do different things with their buddies. But, in the big picture, like you said, things could change in an instant. And, if one of us get it, unfortunately, we're shut down for 14 days. And, with what's going on and the cases spiking, we just don't honestly know what the experts and the governor is going to say. We could be shut down tomorrow, and then, it's the end of it. And, I just don't want kids to look back and say, what could have been, and, them being upset because, of something of their choice that they made. So, I have to give credit to my school district, to my administration and the kids. We have protocols in place, and, they follow those protocols every single day when they come into practice, when they're in the school. They're wearing masks, they're doing the right things. And, that's all we could ask of them. And, hopefully, we'll be able to get a few games in. And, if people are smart about it, I think we could get a full season in. But, it's one of those things that the experts know better than me and better than everybody else. And, we'll just have to take it one day at a time. And that's all I've been telling my kids.
Being a Tunkhannock Tiger, that community, there's so much pride. I mean, it's blue collar, but, whether it's academics, athletics, you think about a couple of years ago and following that softball team to the world championships and how that community got behind Tunkhannock, or whether it's fishing or hunting, there's a lot of pride in Tunkhannock. Talk a little bit about being a part of that community and just kind of knowing your kids, and you guys go at it, full steam ahead, and your nose is hitting that grindstone.
Yeah, it's a great community. Every night that we have a game, it's packed to the fullest in our gym, and we have a great following on the road, and it's always great being out in the community and people recognizing who you are, and even the kids. The kids like to get out in the community and help out as best they can, and people really appreciate that, and it shows with the following that we have, not only at the basketball level, but when it comes to wrestling, football, baseball, all different types of activities we have in Tunkhannock. Our community is great, and it starts with the school district and the administration. They're behind us, and they try to make it a family atmosphere, and I really think that's what Tunkhannock is all about.
Coaching influences for you, who did you kind of take some things off of and learn from and get that coaching bug and say, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to help young men. I want to see them develop and do positive things as students and as athletes and as community members.
It started off once I got out of college. I went on staff at Tunkhannock for Coach Bob Miller. He was a big influence on me. How he handled himself and how he handled himself around the kids was, a big stepping stone and why I wanted to get into coaching. And then I got to coach under Coach Dustin Babcock for a few years, and he was another great asset to me. I still talk to him day in and day out, and even coaches around the area that Mark Atherton, I look up to, of what he's done with that program at Crestwood, and Al Semenza, what he did at Old Forge, Wyoming area, and now at Pittston. Those are all guys that you look up to and say, hey, I want to be in the same category as them, when I'm done with my career. And, they're the cream of the crop when it comes to Wyoming Valley Conference.
And then let's talk about the holidays for you. A little different. Usually you're coaching basketball. Was it a little refreshing to get a little family time in and try to soak up some of that time the best you could?
Yeah. I have two little ones. I have a 5-year-old girl, Addison, and a 1-year-old boy, Rory. And, just being around them for the holidays and, kind of having a break, not being, watching game film all the time and having practices. It was nice. I was still working a little bit, but, it was great to see them on Christmas morning and, be with them after, Christmas Day for a few days and, see the excitement on their faces with their presents and, seeing their families and stuff.
Well, Spencer, we appreciate you sharing your story at Tunkhannock. We wish you the best in 2021, and we look forward to seeing you on the court.
John, thanks for having me. Thank you.